Start off with the first interception. Was there anything in particular that Harbaugh said that made you snap into it, or was it just, instincts?
Yeah, that obviously wasn't the start I was imagining. But yeah, I was kind of running or rolling to our sideline anyway, so my momentum just kind of carried me right into Coach. And he just grabbed me and hugged me and was kind of laughing and was like, "Don't worry, like we'll get it next drive. Don't even sweat about that." And I was able to do that. So.
Anyone else, please raise your hand. We'll get you a microphone. Second row to the left here, Larry.
How much did it help you to have the balance you did in terms of a running game and some different receivers and tight ends?
Yeah, so anytime a quarterback has a run threat, it helps a lot. It helps the passing game a lot. So, to have that balance and then have guys like J.U. and Amara and Jake Budd and Mo Ways, Drake Harris, the list could go on, just weapons after weapons. It makes my job a lot easier.
All the way back to the left.
This one's for Mike. Mike, we heard so much about Don Brown's defense and blitzing, and you personally had a great game. The defense overall did so well, especially in the first half. So just what was it like to finally get out there in a new scheme and kind of show what you guys could do on the greatest stage?
It felt really good. We talked about it all week, just going out there and showing everybody what we're about. We had a great defense last year, and we want to be better than we were last year. I feel like we made a good statement coming out.
Second row, middle right, Adam.
Well, just going through the game, can you kind of take us through the process of you getting kind of acclimated? I mean, you're comfortable in the system, but just the game day environment, just kind of taking it step by step and putting it together. What was that process like?
Yeah, I knew, the game plan front and back, and once I saw my first completion to J.U. on that slant, I felt completely settled in and kind of like a weight was, lifted off my shoulders, and I was able to just get comfortable and fire some shots in the pocket.
Is there a particular player that you felt like kind of boosted you right there?
I mean, they were all really supportive. Jake Butt was in my ear a lot, Davion last night and this morning. But yeah, no, everyone was real cool.
Front row, middle left, Steve.
Well, Coach said, we'll get it back, everything will be okay, and you start on the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
Talk about the momentum that you guys got on that drive and how you finished it off with that fade to Grant.
Yeah, starting that deep, it's just an opportunity to, march down the whole field, and that was what we were able to do. I was able to complete a few passes. The offensive line was, holding all their blocks really well, and the running game was outstanding. So, to be able to march down the field 98 yards and then, fire a shot into Grant in the corner of the end zone was a good feeling.
Standing all the way back right corner, Justin.
Well, the coach said he knew who the starting quarterback was earlier in the week. When did you find out, and what was your initial reaction and process after knowing who was going to be coming out today?
I don't really remember a date or like a certain day of the week that I was named the starter. I finished spring ball last year on top, and I, was told going into camp that I would start there, and it was my job to lose. So I made sure to stay there, and I didn't really worry about him naming me the starter or what day it happened or anything like that.
Front middle, John.
For both you guys, players have been talking about watch out for Chris Evans lately. Did what he did today surprise you at all?
For me, it didn't surprise me at all. Going against him and all the other running backs every day. I see it in practice all the time, and kind of expected it to happen. He's a great player, a real humble kid, and it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, from the first day of camp, he was making plays that, and I didn't even really know anything much about him. I knew he was just a recruited kid out of, I think he's from Indiana. But then, after 2 days of training camp, we all knew who Chris Evans was, and the best part about it, he doesn't let anything get to his head, and he just goes about his business.
Back to Adam, middle right.
So it's for Mike. Mike, the play of the linebackers, especially, I mean, yourself, been very aggressive too. Can you just kind of walk us through that with I guess not the mentality, but just kind of like you guys' approach today as far as being aggressive?
We both talked about just going out there and sending a message. We lost 3 seniors last year at the linebacker position, and we just wanted to go out there and prove something and tell them that we belong, basically. And I feel like we did a great job today.
Front left here, Jake.
Well, you said how important this quarterback competition has been to you, and obviously Jim thought the same thing. How much did it say to you about him when you made the mistake in the first play first offensive play, and he reacted the way he did, staying loyal to you and keeping
Yeah,
it.
there was never like a time heading into the game or after that first interception where I was looking over my shoulder. Coaches, I mean, he's played the position, he knows that the quarterback doesn't perform at a high level when he's always, worried about being replaced after one bad play. So I knew he was going to be cool about it, but he was just really happy and big smile on his face, which gave me more confidence.
Gentleman towards the back right, sitting down.
Zeke with Blueprint. Wilton, describe the battle with, with those 20 other quarterbacks. Because they all looked really good today when they did get a chance to come up there. So describe your feelings from last year coming into the spring when you knew you were the guy, but then you had two really worthy opponents coming after you.
Yeah, so John and Shane both had an incredible camp. Statistically, we kept stats on every day, and it was close for a while. And John would always come out firing and trying to take my spot, and Shane would do the same thing. And the best part about it is we were able to be mature throughout the whole process and be loyal, like friends that we are. And we all handled it very well, and they were able to go out and show what they could do today. I think John was 3 for 3. Shane was 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 with a nice scramble and a juke. So they were able to show what they could do. And Malzone too, he got in there at the end. So it was awesome to see all those guys play.
Chris Ballas to the right middle.
Your thoughts on how your line protected? You had a couple of young guys there on the left side, but Ben Bredesen seemed to hold up all right.
Yeah, that you wouldn't think that he's a true freshman or he was playing high school football this time last year. The whole offensive line, starting with Mason Cole, telling them all what to do, and Eric, Kyle, and Pat stepped up today, and so did Ben. So they held their water and gave me plenty of time to make decisions back there.
Front left here, Nick.
Well, I know that you had a little bit of time to know that you were going to start, and you were confident and everything else, but did you get any sleep last night? Were you nervous?
No, actually, I was surprised. I went in to the hotel last night thinking like, wow, I'm not going to sleep till 1 or 2 a.m., but I was just chilling in the room, going over game plan stuff with O'Korn, and he left at like 9:30, and then I had knocked out a little bit before 10, so I was up early this morning. I rolled over, and I couldn't fall back asleep, but no, I had no problem sleeping last night.
Time to get up.
6:30. We've been getting up for camp every day, so my internal clock kind of woke me up.
Far back right, Doug.
For both of you, what was it like having Michael Jordan on the sideline at the start, and what did that add to the pregame experience, and did he address the team beforehand?
Michael Jordan's like the GOAT, the actual GOAT. It's just, I guess it was kind of like starstruck a little bit, maybe. It was good having him there. Gives a little extra boost of confidence, I guess.
Yeah, he came and talked to the team last night, and he was really just a chill, cool dude. He wasn't like I'm Michael Jordan. We put up his highlight tape, or one of many of his highlight tapes, and he was just laughing the whole time, kind of ducking his head, a little bit embarrassed. But yeah, it was a really cool experience just to have the ultimate competitor in any sport, just kind of being one of the guys in the room.
What was his big message?
Yeah, both the others. Basically, he has so much pride in what he's done in his life. To have a brand, the Jordan brand, it represents a lot, and it carries a lot of weight. And it's basically, he was saying it's our job to, keep the Michigan brand and the Jordan brand kind of up there on the same level. And he said he went with us because he knew we would do that, and now it's our job to kind of back it up.
Go back to the back left. Yeah, my question, okay. Anyone else have a question for the student athletes? Please raise your hand. Front left here.
The amount of freshmen that played today, can you touch on that? What does that feel like in terms of the confidence building that may provide to the others around that the freshmen are actually on the field already?
Yeah, that was huge to see all those young guys, 18-year-old guys out there making plays, not just filling a role, but making plays. And starting with Chris Evans, Rashawn Gary, everybody, to be able to step in and get the job done at a high level was big. And it's also just rewarding to see so many guys get playing time today, because everybody, the whole 130 people on our team went through camp at one point or another. So for them to be rewarded for that was neat.
Final question.